down solo. Need to move away. Need to keep her separated from her guards, as I don't know how many she had. She's 2 more. There we go. Kill her before you kill the guards, and all works out. Also, what is that? And why is it moving? It's like some fucked up staff. Okay, there we go.
A civilized life is the product of a primitive death.
There we go. No. 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 I'll take that. Pop that. This. No. Give me a second. Okay, we'll finish these off. Do that. Okay, Hate Whirl Gold Ring. 15% rarity items found. 8 strength, 6 to lightning damage. 5% increased attack speed and 36 to that. It's tempting. You know, put that on for now. Wait. Apparently that means my damage went up, so I'll stick with that. Alright then. Borrow apes. Okay. Just keep smacking these around. Thank you. Come on. And here is the library. Place I was looking for. This isn't where I have to go, but it is the... Oh, that... Oh, okay, that's just a bit of wall, but it is somewhere significant. Come on. Thank you. Don't know why it took a moment. Bit of a nuisance. Grab these 2. That there, that there. Now suddenly this will become a bit. That's a 1.30% or 1.3%, whatever you want to call it. 1.30. Hit pi. Still 1.30. It's only 3% increase, so it's probably in the minutiae somewhere. Disappointing. I was hoping for a somewhat noticeable improvement, even a, you know, a 1 behind that tree there. Ooh. Yeah, here in the library you can find random books. None of them are narrated though, sadly. Book 3. The Queen's Thaumaturgist. In a culture festooned with gems and steeped in thaumaturgy, Dorani must have had a quite deep, exceptional mind to rise to such preeminence as he did. Perhaps he was simply more ruthless than his counterparts, such as the impression one tends to garner from the accounts written of the events following Zepani's death. Aratzi's orders are quoted in a number of different texts. Dorani was to make any effort within realms of possibility, to act without fear of question or consequence. To what was Dorani expected to apply this supreme effort? The investigation of Dorani's longevity and youthful vitality. It is a particularly chilling manifest containing the endless list of names page upon. Yeah, sorry, that's the one issue. It moves way too fast. I try to speed up, but then I trip over my tongue, which irritates. Okay. And then you have to wait for it to catch up, and it's such an irritant. the investigation of Zafani's longevity and youthful vitality. There's a particularly chilling manifest containing the endless list of names, page upon page, the names of young men and women ranging in age from 16 to 26, sent to Dorani for processing. Only those of full and recent maturity were deemed capable of accommodating the necessary procedures required without succumbing to premature expiration. Yes, Queen Azari was prepared to slaughter her own people in the desperate pursuit of perpetual youth and beauty. Vanity indeed is the most insidious of all sins. Tyranny intellectus prime. So, I wonder how many she slaughtered in pursuit of eternal youth. My sentiment exactly. I wonder. That's of interest. Person with two heads on display. Wonder why and how. Skeletal beast. Mine. Both the scroll and the beastie. Yo. Fucking casters. Town portals are handy to grab even though I don't need them anymore. Because I can just use I can sell them to get the Scrolls of Wisdom. Volume 3. Slaves of Virtue. Another shipment of human picks and shovels, bound for Highgate. Ezamites mostly. Care of Gaius Centauri's civilization camps. A few darkskins here and there. Kararui and Maraket. Malachi has had his wicked ways with them all. Limbs stretched, contorted, double and triple jointed, all the better to pluck gems from the cracks and fissures of their home and tomb to be. They squint and cower in the sun. I have no problem with this not being narrated, but I prefer to like WoW lore books where you can turn the page at your own will. Malachi has had his wicked way with them all. Limbs contorted, stretched, contorted, double and triple jointed, all the better to pluck gems from the cracks and fissures of their home to be. They squint and cower in the sun, their eyeballs injected with gloom so they might see in the subterranean night as they would in their warm homeland day. The shackled slaves shuffle north as the gems they mined tumble south, a glittering landslide of power and privilege for the fairest of our eternal citizens. Civilization is bought and paid for with the flesh and blood of the primitive. It is the debt that will one day need to be repaid. Victario of Sarn. The Purity Chronicles. Book 1. Embers of Insurrection. He soared the power on the smoke of burning witches. So did surviving gemlings whispered of Vol of Terebus, as he donned the imperial crown on the second Sacramento of Rere. But in truth, he was never the sort of man to set a girl alight for merely reading a palm or remedying a bout of the clap. That's an interesting phrasing. But in truth, he was never the sort of man to set a girl alight for merely reading a palm, or remedying a bout of the clap. Oh, he never lit a girl on fire for just reading a palm, reading palms, or curing the clap. I thought he never excited girls sexually in that regard for reading the palms, as in the Psalms, biblical thing, or, curing clap with his godly magic. I thought that was it. I got very confused. Same with the first time round. Righteousness and devoted to both fate and country. High Templar Vol struck a little hardship in gathering others to his godly cause. Sarn's own Lord Mayor, Ondar and Victario, the people's poet, Archbishop Joffrey of Frisia, Governor Kasrov of Strinov, and Commander Aedis of Highgate. Together these warriors of purity forged an uprising against the genuine Tomartarocracy that Vol hoped would snatch this empire from the cause of devilry and return it to humanity. Garvaldi, chronicler to the empire. And the Lord Mayor also stabbed the Emperor in the bog. Well, in the arse. In the arse, not the bogs. Mind control. Okay, wandering this way. Okay, there's an altar here. I need to rush through and get to it. There we go. Restore that which was lost. It's a Healy one, which is very nice. Very good considering I just ran into the crowded. And at least now they don't have it. It's also gone 6. I can record for an hour longer? I still should have all the space I need. Though I will have to start uploading Overworld soon. Although I also need to upload Mordheim and Final Fantasy 14. Ah, excellent. Here's the NPC I was searching for. Thanks to the All Flame, Captain Fairgrave survived your initial encounter, but now he wants to die once and for all, so he can resurrect. To achieve this, he needs you to find the Chitus Plum on a tree at the hedge maze next to the Imperial Gardens. This is one of the side areas I wanted to find. I also want to find the hedge maze. The hedge maze is, I believe, where I actually found those cultists I mentioned.
Please, do not be alarmed. I am neither monster nor murderer, though that is the duality of existence that defines San these days. My name is Siosa, and I have the bleak honor of being the sole scholar to the Imperious Intellection, this grand repository of knowledge you see about you. May reason preserve us. In more mundane circumstances, it would be preposterous to ask this of you, an utter stranger, but given that I don't know in which century I might see another pair of flesh and bone hands, there's a door, you see, concealed behind the shelves. It leads into the archives. That's where Isius Perandus concealed his golden pages. Can you see how maddening that would be for me? No, of course you can't. Ridiculous of me to... Suffice to say that they are beyond my reach. 4 Varlish texts they are, of priceless historical insight. Please, find my friend's golden pages and bring them to me. You will be rewarded. I vow it before the ancestors.
As you ask, Willy Wonka. Also, remember, you like in the introduction there, well, for the hint there, he was saying he doesn't know what century it is, and when he will see the next pair of flesh blood hands. But, you know, there's no dialogue for it, but the sound he gave, you know, that thing, I really like. It's extra flavor to it, you know. That's why I like the voice acting. Makes it more, yeah, it's more than just reading the lines off the page. It was a dark and stormy night. You know, it's adding more character to it, more color, more flavor. I really like this, and again, I'm all the more impressed considering this is a free game. Yeah, it's an absolutely free game with a great microtransaction scheme. It's all optional. All cosmetic, as far as I can tell. There's some stuff you unlock by doing missions in the game, so you can earn the opportunity to give them money to buy this particular thing. But I have no idea what that thing is. I assume it's more cosmetics, cosmetic stuff. It's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant, and I hope the company behind this game many productive, profitable years, and great time for all. Because they made a great game. Made a great game. To be honest, I wish they just had a donation link. I don't want anything for cosmetic or anything. It's just like, you know, when I have money, I'm broke as shit right now. But if I had money, I'll be like, just take money. Just take it. Buy yourself something nice. It's because they made a great game. And it's free, and they've a great monetization. It was, you know, great thing there, and they have let's plays. It's utterly brilliant. Utterly brilliant. Like seriously, I can't speak highly enough of this. Certainly, it has its flaws. I'm not a fan of the always online shite. It's shite, utterly. And the server is a little iffy. I had more fun with the Diablo 3 stuff, but this is pretty good. Right now it's cooperating. For whatever reason, my internet just went to shit when I started playing it. I'm blaming the game, but that's just because I'm misattributing blame. I'm not, but regardless of the condition of the internet connection, I'm not a fan of the always online stuff. But like the game has its flaws. What I'm saying is, it has its flaws, but for what it is, it's an amazing thing. It's an amazing game. And I will reiterate this one thing I've said before. If you are someone, or if you know someone who isn't a fan of this genre but would like to be a fan, like for me, I would like to be a biggest fan of this genre. I played these games when I was younger, and I was kind of into them. And now, really, they don't do much for me. But this game really, really does. It really does. I love it. I love it completely. Despite it not being a part of the genres that I like. This game is really well done. It's really great, and I highly recommend it. And if you know someone of a similar frame of mind as me, I would highly hope that you recommend this game to them. Remember, remember, it's free. All it requires is they download a bit, set up an account, download some stuff. Go to the toilet, come back in 20 hours. Come back in 4 hours. It'll be fine. It'll be downloaded, and you'll be ready to set up a character and go. Give it a try. One thing, make sure you get them to pay attention to the one suggestion. Make sure you get them to pay attention to the gem system in the game. That is where the fun arises. Like in the customizing your attacks, customizing your abilities, rather than just going with the default thing. You can take dominating blow from a single target thing to you hit 3 times. It's AoE. The minions you get back hit 3 times and have AoE, and it's beautiful. I could toss on a bit of fire damage onto that as well, and it's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. So like I said, recommend them pay attention to that. That's where I go back, watch the first season of the first playthrough of this. When I was in the Tower of God, I was saying how I really didn't like this. It wasn't doing it for me. Well, not that I really didn't like it, but it wasn't doing it for me. I wasn't getting into it. Then look at me in Act 4 when I realised the beauty and the magnificence of dominating blow. I'm suddenly smitten by the game. I'm suddenly like this. Like I said, just if you know someone of the same frame of mind as me, I recommend this game to them. Another one that I've heard that's might be good for someone like me is Victor Van. I believe that's the name. It's the character makes me think of Van Helsing in all honesty. Apparently that's pretty good. A pretty good one. I remember TB did a review of it. It has its flaws as well, but it's an interesting one. You can, for example, in this, you can't jump around. You have to walk around the fucking banister. In Victor Van, you can fling yourself around the place. In fact, there's some double jumping in it. Well, sorry, wall jumping in it, even. So it's a very different kind of game in this genre. It seems very interesting to me, but I do know it has a licensed soundtrack. In one of its expansions, for whatever reason, Motorhead was getting very active all of a sudden, and well, I don't keep track of them, so maybe they've always been this active. I heard a sudden burst of news, and it's just, well, I'm not sure if half the news is true, but yeah, basically they made an expansion of Victor Van with Motorhead stuff associated with it. So it's going to be a steampunk expansion or something. I remember hearing. I'm not sure if that was a joke or if it actually came true. And the other thing was Motorhead brand sex toys. But vibrators were probably part of that. But yes, I don't know if either is true or if both are false, or if one or the other or what. But look it up yourself. But regardless, I do believe I don't know if I can do Let's Plays of Victor Van. If I can, I will do so at some stage. But as of present, that wouldn't be in the cards. As well as that, I have this and Grim Dawn to work with. I have enough for the moment. Think of how long it takes me to get through all this. Ignore the time I've spent talking here, but how long the gameplay is to these first 4 acts. Now imagine 6 more. I think I'll be at this for quite a while. I don't need to start another game series. So, anyway, like I said,